everybody. Listen, I wanted to jump on here really quickly to share 11 tips for a successful academic year. It is July the 31st. Tomorrow is August the 1st, and Houston County returns back to school. Some surrounding counties may have already begun school. I just want to take a few minutes to speak to the lives of the young people that I'm connected with. If you are an adult, an educator, a parent, a guardian, and you feel this could help your youth, feel free to share it with them. I know that I have the attention of quite a few youth who trust what I say, and they are striving this year like never before to be upstanding citizens, to do the right thing, and to excel academically. And to those of you who are in that category, I salute you. Much love for you. Pastor's really proud of you. The 2022-2023 school season is upon us, and I just want to give you 11 powerful tips that I know if you will practice them, they will make a tremendous difference in your academics. I was sitting here as I was getting ready to press record. All of my children are adults now, and I thought that once that happened, I would be removed from this engagement with youth. Definitely at the level that I'm at, I never imagined that I would still be pouring into youth on a day to day basis. But when God gives you the youth's attention, when they trust you, when they look up to you, when they listen to you, you kind of have a responsibility to continue to pour into them. And that's why I'm doing this particular video, because I know it's going to be powerful. Let's start with number one. It's 11 of them, and I want you to pay attention. And I don't want you to try it. I want you to apply it. Here's number one: set goals for yourself. Number one, set goals for yourself. 11 tips. Now you say, well, Pastor Troy, how do I set goals for myself? Well, I'm going to give you a couple of tips. Number one, design a specific action plan for achieving the goals you set. Now, hopefully, you have some academic goals this year. If you don't, get some, set some. You cannot arrive at a destination until you decide where it is you want to go. And that's really critical academically. So let's say, for example, this year you want to be on the honor roll. Okay, set that goal. Now, once you set the goal, you got to ask yourself what specific daily actions are needed to accomplish this goal. Every goal that's set requires daily actions and daily attention. Now, once you set the goal to be on the honor roll, then you say, okay, I know that I've got to make a list of things I've got to do to get on that list. Then you do it. It requires you to study, requires you to pay attention in class, some of which I'm going to cover here. Here's what I want to tell you. If you set the goal, I promise you, if you'll do the daily actions and you'll give it daily attention, that goal is attainable. And it may be some other goal academically. It's important, though, that you challenge yourself. I don't want to say pressure, because pressure sometimes is inadvertently the enemy that crushes a lot of people, especially when they haven't conditioned their minds, they haven't conditioned themselves. Then pressure becomes an albatross, it becomes a weight around their necks. I do believe in challenging yourself, though. I challenge myself on a day to day basis, and I'm glad that I do, because it's me pushing me. To every young person that's watching this video, I want to make something really clear. As you go back to school, you're not in competition with anyone except for yourself. So never look at yourself and see what you have on and see what they have on, to see if you are up to par, see if you are, if you are on point. Come on. We go to school for a specific reason, and that's point 11. So I got to pump the brakes, because I'm about to preempt myself. My point here is that the only competition that we really have in this life is ourselves. If you will apply that to your life and push yourself, you will excel. I promise you. Oftentimes we don't excel because we're competing against ghosts. What do you mean, Pastor Troy? You're competing against your peers. You're competing against that guy or that girl. That's not your real competition. Your real competition is YOU. What do I mean? Your goal is to become better every single day. And just by getting a little bit better every single day, day over day, naturally, you're going to rise to the top, because you refuse to stay the same. Let me say this: staying the same is lame. All right. Now, this is just extra notes. Okay, let's go back to what I'm focused on here. Number one, set goals for yourself. Now, we're talking about 11 tips for a successful academic year. Here's number two, and I'll throw it on the screen for you. Attend all classes and attend school regularly. Now, to some on the surface, they might think this is simple, but I know firsthand that this is a major issue in every school system. We have far too many students missing far too many days, not even showing up at school. And we have far too many students who are showing up to school, but they're not showing up to school to attend class or participate in class. They're basically there to eat lunch, maybe socialize, or maybe show off what kind of shoes or clothes they have on, but they're not really there for academic excellence. And I want to make sure that you don't fall in that category. So make sure this year you attend all classes and you attend school regularly. That means there are going to be days you're going to have to push yourself. There are far too many youth now who just tap out at the slightest, thing that makes them not want to go to school. And you cannot develop that kind of habit because as an adult, that's going to leave you broke, busted, and disgusted because as an adult, there are days we have to go to work when we don't want to go to work. As an adult, there are days we have to go work out when we don't want to work out. As an adult, there are a plethora of things. In other words, there are a lot of things that we simply have to do in order to fulfill our responsibilities. So this school season, make it one of your goals to have great attendance, if not perfect attendance. And don't just go to class, but attend all the classes and attend school regularly. Here's number 3: participate fully in each class. Now, that's different from attending the class because you can be in the class and not be a participant. So here's point number 3. Tip number 3: participate fully in each class. You say, Pastor Troy, how do I do that? I'm glad you asked. A, you participate fully by asking and answering questions. Let me tell you something. It's hard for you to learn when you're a silent student in the classroom when you're given opportunities to ask questions. Bump the dumb stuff. Don't worry about looking dumb and looking stupid or asking a dumb question or not knowing the answer to a question. That's how you stay stagnant. That's how you stay in the same place. No, you've got to be willing to ask to get the answers, and you got to be willing to answer even if you're not sure, because what that says to the teacher, forget your peers. What that says to the teacher is that you're serious about learning. What that says to the teacher is that you're not just showing up, but you came to participate. And trust me, here's a little tip. If you'll be that student in class, you'll be surprised how your grades will be much better than if you were the student who didn't participate in class and just was a body in the class, but you were not a part of what the teacher was teaching. Take it from me. I know exactly what I'm talking about. The second way you can participate fully in class is by doing your homework and preparing for all tests and all quiz. Now, again, we're talking about school, and I have always taught my children that just like I go to work and my paycheck is the proof of my work and my due diligence. I've always told my children that their going to school is their job and their report card was their paycheck. I think you need to have that frame of mind that you are going to school for a reason, for a purpose. So I want to give you these keys so that you aren't just sitting in class, daydreaming, falling asleep, waiting on lunch. No, no, no. Number one, you're asking questions and answering questions. Then number two, or B, should we say, you're doing the homework and you're preparing. Let me say that again. Preparing for all tests and all quizzes. Now, here is the fourth tip to have a great year academically. Let me throw it on the screen for you. Be actively respectful and polite to everyone all the time. Now, this is one of my pet peeves, so I'm going to repeat it. I won't stay here long, but I really need every young person to hear this. Be actively respectful and polite to who? Everyone, all of the time. I believe that this is a critical building block of character when you are actively respectful. In other words, you're conscious to be respectful to every teacher, even the ones that you may not like or agree with, or even the ones you feel like don't like you. You commit yourself to a level of standard of character that says, I'm going to always be respectful. And by respectful, I mean, yes, sir, no, sir. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Closing your mouth when they're talking and not interrupting them when they're saying something. And then when they are done speaking, you ask, may I speak? May I say something? Respect will get you a long way in this world. Disrespect will get you nowhere. I'll take that back. It'll get you somewhere, but it's not where you want to be. So make sure that you are a respectful young person this school season, and make sure you're polite to everyone, not just the cool kids, but maybe the kids who don't have friends, maybe the kids who you may seem or deem to be odd. Be polite, be respectful. You may not even agree with their lifestyle or their life choices or the way that they carry themselves, but it's your duty and your job, and it's a reflection of who you are to always be polite and always be respectful. Trust me when I tell you this, it'll go a long way this year for you academically. Here's number 5: be thoughtful in your words and in your actions. You know, you've heard people say, man, think before you do. And that's really important because oftentimes we do and then we think about what we've done. If you want to be successful academically, and let's just broaden this, if you want to be successful in life, it's critical and it's important that you are someone who is thoughtful in your words and in your actions. In other words, just because it comes up doesn't mean it has to come out. Sometimes you get things in your mind and you know you shouldn't say them. You know that if you say that, whatever that is, it's going to get you in trouble. There's also actions that come up and you have a choice whether to do something or not do something. And you know full well, if I do this and I get caught, I'm going to get in trouble. And oftentimes we hope that we don't get caught. This school season, this academic season, be smart and be thoughtful in your words and be thoughtful in your actions. Here's number 6: be informed. Now, this is critical if you're going to be successful in school. It's really critical for life. But really, for school, you've got to be informed. You say, well, Pastor Troy, how do I become an informed student this year? Well, here's a couple of tips. A, listen to the announcements and listen to the instructions carefully. Anytime anyone comes over that intercom, your mouth should be closed. I don't care who's talking around you. You need to close your mouth and do one of these. Tilt your ear up because you want to hear whatever is being said. That's critically important. More important than that is when the teacher is teaching in the classroom. If she's announcing something or giving you information about up and coming tests, when quizzes are going to occur, what you need to study, or what we're going to do today. My wife calls it the POD. She puts it on the board. When the teacher tells you what is going to happen in the classroom, that's not a time to socialize. It's not a time to look around the room. It's not a time to chat with your buddies. No, you need to listen to all announcements and all instructions carefully. If you don't get the instructions, it's going to be hard for you to excel academically. Here's another way. Here's another way that you can be informed. Highlight important dates for your test and for your exams and for your homework assignments. Write down the due dates on a calendar somewhere that you have where that's exactly what that calendar is for. How many times in past school years have you had assignments, had tests, or had quizzes that you were told about and you forgot? And listen, nobody's going to beat you up because you forgot, but I am going to chastise you for not writing it down. You've got to take school seriously. Why? Because that's your job. So you want to highlight important dates for tests, exams, homework due dates, and put it on a calendar somewhere where you're going to look at it every single day. You may have to put that calendar up in the bathroom or put it up in your room by the light where you turn the light off and on. Put it in a place where you cannot miss it. And what will happen is you'll have a reinforcement. You'll have a reminder of what's coming up each and every week. If you write it down and you look at the calendar, you're going to be way more prepared than you trying to rely on your mind and your memory. Trust Pastor on this one, okay? Here's number 7. We're giving you 11 tips for a successful academic year. Here's number 7. Share school news with your parents or your guardians, whoever you are living with or whoever's in charge of the household. Share school news with them and keep them informed of your progress. But here's the most important one, of your struggles. The teacher should not be the first one to inform your parents or your guardians that you're struggling in class. At the first sign that you are struggling or something is confusing or you're not getting it in class, or you see your grades starting to fall and you got a C or you got an F on a test, That's not something you should keep to yourself. And I know sometimes you're afraid to go home and tell it, but that's how you get help. It also makes you look like somebody who's aware of what is happening. And it makes you look like somebody who doesn't want to fail, but someone who wants to succeed. See, many of you haven't been taught, and that's why I take the time to do this. Keep them informed. Let them know of the progress. Hey, I made an A on this test. But when you fail a test, go home and say, hey, I had a quiz today. I had a test today. Or last week, I got the grade back and I didn't pass. I got an F on it. That says to the guardian or to the parents in your life, okay, this is somebody that is concerned about their own academic excellence. And I promise you, it will go further than you keeping it to yourself, waiting on the teacher to call or hoping that she doesn't call. This year, I want every student to be wise, be smart, be proactive. And that means sharing the school news with your parents, letting them know what's going on at the school, but letting them know what's going on in your class, letting them know about your progress, and letting them know about your struggles. Is this helping anybody? Only got a few more and then I'm done. Here's number 8 of the 11 tips for a successful academic school year. And this one is critically important. Manage your time. Let me say that again. Manage your time. I was just looking at a report today about screen time for students, and they stated that pre COVID, the average screen time for students was 3 point something hours a day. But during COVID and after COVID, that screen time for the average student has doubled to almost 8 hours a day. 8 hours a day is a work day. And if you're spending 8 hours a day looking at a screen, then how much learning are you engaging in? What's happening to your mind? Even 3 hours plus is a lot. And what happens is time gets away from you because you started watching one TikTok video, and then all you have to do is wait, and then they're going to show you another one and another one and another one. Or you're on Netflix watching your favorite TV show or movie, and then what happens? The next episode comes up, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And if you don't manage your time, then you're going to find yourself in a situation where you're going to feel like you didn't have time to do your homework, you didn't have time to study, you didn't have time to prepare. And the truth of the matter is, it's not that you didn't have time, it's that you didn't manage your time. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of tips on how to manage your time. If you haven't seen, I think 3 videos that I posted on my Facebook timeline, parents and guardians, if you've seen them and you haven't let your children see them, please allow them to see them, because I give some incredible teaching on what students can do to prepare for the school year. It's actually from a sermon I preached, I think, in 2018. And when I tell you it's powerful, it's absolutely powerful. But let me help you now. Manage your time. Here's A, and we'll do A, B, and C. A, devote some time to study. Devote some time for homework, and devote some time for reading every day. Now, when I say devote some time, I mean have a cutout set time after school where you're going to sit down in a quiet environment to study. Quiet time where you're going to study, and then you're going to prepare your homework, and then you're going to set aside some time for reading, all in that study time. When my children were in school, my wife and I set up this time for them, 4 to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. So after they came home from school, they had a little downtime, a little transition time where they could get some snacks, maybe slip into something a little more comfortable. And then from 4 to 6, they all had to sit at our kitchen dining table and they had to study. During that time, we asked them to bring their books home. They had to bring all of their books home, because what we weren't going to accept was, I don't have any homework. That was unacceptable. So we told our kids, we taught them and trained them in class, take notes. So when they're sitting in class, they have been instructed to take notes. Write down what the teacher is saying while the teacher is saying it. And then when you get home from 4 to 6, review those notes that day. Something amazing happened for them and to them. Their ability to remember what the teacher taught was reinforced and concretized. In other words, it was solidified. And the test information was really right there because they had kind of reinforced it. You hearing what the teacher says one time may not be enough for you to have that knowledge readily available when you take a quiz or a test. But just imagine every day you set aside a certain amount of time devoted for study time, for homework time, and for reading. Now, I believe in reading like you would not believe. I am the man, I am the day. I am able to articulate and enunciate and communicate on almost every level you can imagine. It's because I am an avid reader. I love reading books, books that expand my mind, books that expand my horizon. And it's because I'm an avid reader that I'm able to communicate the way that I'm able to communicate. Do that, and I promise you, your life is going to be better and your academic success is going to be phenomenal. This only happens, though, when you manage your time. Here's B: create a daily schedule for these three critical elements: homework, study, and reading. A daily schedule. For my kids, it was Monday through Friday, 4 through 6. And here's the kicker: share that schedule with your parents. Now, you will blow your parents' minds if you say to them, this year, Monday through Friday, I'm going to set my own study time from this time to that time. And I'll be at the kitchen table doing my homework. I'll be at the kitchen table reading, and I'll be at the kitchen table studying what the teacher taught that day. Let me tell you something. You do that and you tell your parents that this is what you're doing, or your guardians, they're probably going to think you're an alien. They're going to think that you were switched out with some creature from another planet. But they're going to be amazed. They're going to support you. And above that, your academics this year, I promise you, trust me on this one. Don't try it, apply it. Promise you, your academics this year are going to soar based on these tips that I'm giving you. Where are we at? Number 9. Not going to be long, but this is good information. Here's number 9, 11 tips for a successful academic year. Here's number 9: seek assistance when you need it. Let me say it again: seek assistance when you need it. Nobody knows you need assistance like you do. And you're the first to know that you need assistance. So why wait until it's Mayday? Why wait until it's critical? No, seek assistance when you need it. You have counselors and teachers and administrators at your school. And let me tell you this: they are there to help you. That's what they're there for. That's what they want to do. But they can't help you if you don't ask for help. They can't help you if you don't say, hey, I'm struggling with the concepts in this math class. I'm struggling with this history class. I'm struggling over here in biology. You have to open your mouth and say, hey, I need some help. Now, if they don't help you, that's a whole nother issue. But I promise you, I believe in my heart that if you ask enough counselors and teachers and administrators, I believe they're going to get you some help. I just believe it with everything in me. Your job is to seek assistance when you need it. Here's the second part of this: seeking assistance when you need it. Be honest with yourself. When you are dealing with a challenging issue, and get the support you need. Be honest with yourself. Ain't no shame in the game if you are failing a class, and if you're failing the class within the first 2 or 3 weeks of school. Don't tap out. Don't give up and say, well, man, I just shouldn't have took this class, or I ain't going to make it. No, 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 no. The best time to seek assistance is at the beginning, when everything's starting. Why? Because it alarms the teacher, okay, that she's got to do something differently. It alarms the teacher that you may have to stay after school. It alarms the teacher to pay more attention to you in class and help you through this hump, help you through this challenge. But you have to be honest with yourself. There's a time and a place to be cool. Let me tell you something. It's not cool when you're not being honest about the help that you need. Again, forget about your peers. Forget about what he's going to say and she's going to say because you're asking for help. Bump the dumb stuff. This is about you. This is about your education. This is about your future. Now, number 10, I'm almost at number 11. I hope this is helping somebody. Give your best effort in everything that you do. This is a life principle that I've been teaching for as long as I can remember. And I want to share it with every student, every grade, every level. Give your best effort in everything you do. Now, your best effort means doing 1 through 9 that I've just given you. Showing up every day, participating, taking notes, writing down the dates, setting aside study time. This is what the best effort looks like. Your best effort is not you just going to class hoping for the best. And do it with everything you do. Here's my spin: approach all things with a positive attitude and with positive energy, especially the things you don't like, especially the things that you find difficult. Don't allow negative vibes to get in your mind and get in your mouth and say, well, I can't do that. That's too hard. I don't like math. Don't ever say you don't like math. Don't ever say you don't like a subject. Say it's challenging. Say that maybe in times past you've had a hard time with it. But don't ever say you don't like something that you need. No, no, no. It's important for you to keep it positive. It's important for you to have a positive attitude. And it's important for you to have that positive energy that, yeah, it's a challenge, but I believe in me. You've got to believe in yourself this school season so that when you meet something that's difficult, a subject matter that's hard, a concept that you're struggling with grasping academically, and maybe you've gotten an F here or there, you got to stay positive. Well, how can I stay positive, Pastor Troy, when I'm struggling? How can I stay positive if I'm failing? You can stay positive because you've got people around you that are willing to help you if you open your mouth and say, hey, I don't want to fail this class. I'm willing to do whatever I have to do to pass this class. Help me. See, that's what it looks like to keep a positive attitude. That's what it looks like to give off positive energy. And let me tell you something. That's the kind of person that people want to help. Somebody who's determined to succeed and excel. Be that person this year. Well, guess what? We have made it to number 11. I told you I wanted to give you 11 tips for a successful academic year, and we're at number 11. Are you ready for it? Here it is. Remember your mission. Maybe you didn't know you had a mission, so let me give it to you. Here's your mission. Every young person going to school, elementary, we'll even go pre-K, kindergarten, elementary, middle school, and high school. Let me tell you what your mission is and what your purpose is for being in school. It's really simple. Elevation through education. Why don't you say that with me? Elevation through education. Remember your mission. When you get up in the morning, you go to school, and you're sitting in that classroom, remember your mission and your purpose for being there. Elevation and education. Well, hey guys, this is Pastor Troy Wynn Sr., the senior pastor of the Freedom Church, somebody who loves young people, somebody who believes in young people, and somebody who puts his money where his heart is when it comes to young people. I'm praying for you, and I expect for this year to be one of the best years academically that many of you have ever had. Have a good night. If this has been a blessing to you, or whenever you see this, a good day. If this has been a blessing to you, share it with as many people as possible. Positive information like this is desperately needed. And simply by sharing it, you could help somebody else. Have a great day, everybody.